Hello, everybody, and welcome to Facebook Live with the CEO. I'm Ronaldo Hardy. For those of you who may not have tuned in before, I am the CEO here at Southwest Louisiana Credit Union, and it is always a great thing to come and to have conversations with you to help you to make better decisions with your finances. We always want to encourage what we consider top-down transparency. We want to be connected to you, and so I want to always make myself available for you at any period of time. What I will encourage you to do as you're jumping on is go ahead and share this. This is going to be great information for your friends to see as well. So go ahead and share this so that others can join us. And then also, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the comment section, and we'll get to those questions at the end of today's presentation. Today we want to talk about what to do when you get paid, because when that money starts rolling in, it's very tempting for you to just, start spending without even having a plan in place. And so we want to help you to make smart choices with your money. And I've been there before. We've all been there before, even from childhood. In childhood, it's like you get $5 and it's itching. As soon as you get the money, you're thinking about all the things you want to get. Your parents take you into one store, and before you know it, you spent all the money on chips and candy. And I don't know about you, but I used to get to the next store and then realize that I really wanted to buy something in that store, but then all of my money was gone. And so it's important for you to make wise decisions with your money so that you don't run into those situations. Plus, now that we're all adulting, which is a whole different form of life, I know sometimes you want to go back to your childhood and embrace that no responsibility lifestyle, but we're all adulting now. And so adults have adult-like responsibilities, and adult life situations can hit you at any given point in time. And so having an appropriate plan in place is important so that you can be successful with your finances. So the first thing that you need to do when you get paid, and we always talk about this, but we can never say it enough, is make sure that you are paying yourself first. Make sure that you have a plan in place to save some money. It's sad for you to get your paycheck and everybody else get a piece of it before you can even enjoy any of it for yourself. And so we encourage you to make sure you have a plan in place to save. It's a good idea for that to be around 10% if you can get it to that place. But a lot of times we get discouraged because we can't save 10%, so we just don't do anything at all. We want to encourage you to get started wherever you are. If it's only comfortable for you right now to save $15 every time you get paid, or $25 or $50, start there because you want to start building the habit. I know we've all been there before where maybe we decided we were going to lose weight, so we started cutting back on how much we ate each day. Or maybe we decided we're going to go in the gym, and when we first started lifting weights, we couldn't lift a certain amount of weight, but we started where we were, and then before you know it, we grew to lifting what we desired to lift. It's the same thing with your finances. I know last year I lost about 50 pounds, and when I first started, it seemed like it was impossible to give up some of the things that I gave up. Before I knew it though, my body adjusted and I got accustomed to making better choices with my health. And you can do the same thing with your financial health. So get started wherever you are. Make sure that you put some money aside each and every time you get paid. Get used to paying yourself first. The second thing you need to do, and really you can do this even before you start paying yourself first, but make sure that you always have a plan in place with how you're going to direct your money. Don't let your money be in charge of you. You be in charge of your money. And that's simply putting a budget in place so that you know how to allocate your funds when they're coming in. Make sure you have a good idea of how much money you're making, and then also to have a good idea of what your fixed expenses are and your variable expenses. With those fixed expenses, it's important for you to know what you have to pay out per month, just so you get a good idea of how you may need to better plan with those variable expenses. What are you going to do with your entertainment? What are you going to do with your food budget? Maybe you cannot eat out every day, which brings me to my final point, which is to make sure that you stop wasting money. Stop wasting money. The more or the better you plan out your finances, the easier it will be for you to cut down on the amount of waste that you have each and every day. You know, for example, you and I, we know when we don't plan how we're going to do our lunch, or when we don't plan what we're going to get for breakfast, it's very easy to whip into Starbucks. And before you know it, you spent $5 for coffee. And then you're thinking, well, I need something with it. So you're getting a muffin, or you're getting, coffee cake, and then that's another $3 or so. So you spend $8 to $10 just for breakfast. And then lunchtime comes and your coworkers are going to one of your favorite restaurants. And before you know it, you spent $15 on lunch, and then you're tired when you get off from work. And you're like, well, I just need to get something. I'm going to use Waiter. Sorry, Waiter. I'm going to use Waiter and get me some dinner because I don't feel like cooking. And before you know it, you spent $50 in one day on food that you could have saved some of that had you planned better. So don't waste money. Follow a plan, which is your budget. Make sure you're paying yourself first, and you will make smarter decisions with your money. These are all things we've heard before, but things that we need to put into practice. So I'm going to encourage you to do it right away. Some of you are going to get a paycheck on Friday. I want you to practice by making sure you save something this week. Put something away. I want you to go ahead and sit down and make sure you start working on your budget right away. And if you need help with that, you may not have heard, maybe you have, but we are now 100% certified as financial counselors here at the Credit Union. We want to help you. So if you need help planning through your monthly budget, we're here to help you. And it's definitely stop wasting money, giving money away to everybody else and not taking care of yourself. With that said, we're open for questions.
Okay, we've got one. How do I know which savings plan is right for me?
Well, opening a savings account is a good idea. One of the things that I like to say is if you are opening an account for a specific reason, so let's just say you have a child that's getting married, or maybe you're saving for a down payment for a home, maybe it might be a good idea in those cases to open a separate account where those monies can be, that money can be deposited separate, and then also have your emergency fund that is its own individual account as well. That way it can help you to know, not have money commingled, and you can make sure you know how your money is growing appropriately in each space that you're saving for. So I'd encourage you to do what works best for you. But if you don't have a savings account at all, then we need to just get started by opening one.
Right now I have one checking account that I set up years ago. How many checking accounts should I have, and what should I look for in a checking account?
Absolutely. So there's no set rule on how many you should have. If you're not organized enough to manage more than one, then maybe you should just have one until you can make sure you get that one down pat. I do know sometimes people have more than one checking account, and they'll divide up their expenses between them. So sometimes people have a checking account and all of their fixed expenses will go there. So they know, hey, the mortgage is going to be this much. My car note's going to be this much. My electricity is generally around this, and everything will come out of that. And then they'll have another account that's more of a spending account. Or they'll have one just for all bills, whether it's fixed or variable, and one for spending. That could work for you. But if you know that you're having trouble managing just the one, then try to master that first before you try to have more than one account. In today's climate, I will tell you, when you're looking for a checking account, you should be looking for one that is free. It's way too many free accounts in the market for you to be paying a monthly service charge for your checking account. Also, you should have that financial institution to allow you to see what the fees are on that account. And what I mean by that, what are the self-imposed fees? The account itself should be free. But if you were to overdraw or you were to go into courtesy pay, what is the fee for that? Just so you can make a better informed decision on what you're willing to take on if you were to fall into that situation for any reason at all. And then also, based upon what you're trying to accomplish, there are checking accounts that pay a significant amount in dividends now. So you can actually earn money on an account. So if you're trying to accomplish that, make sure you look and see what's in the market. We do have an account that does pay interest. So some people want to take advantage of that. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, I would recommend that you look for that. But free is the word. Your account should be free. Your debit card should be free. Your online banking should be free. Your bill pay should be free. Your account should be free. If you're paying for a checking account, you're probably in the wrong product.
Great. We have a question from Peter. I would like to start a savings account to help me save, but I'm wondering, how do I get my money out if I need it?
Well, it's very simple. So if you are saving and you're in need of money, we do have, obviously we have debit cards. So if you need to do a withdrawal to ATM, you can do that. You can also come in to see us if you want to make that withdrawal. It's not very hard to do it, although we do advise that when you put that savings account in place, that you are putting that account in place so that you can leave funds there. Sometimes people get a savings account and then they end up using it as a checking account. They're always withdrawing. We would discourage that, but we do want you to know that you have access to those funds if you did need them. So.
One more. I'm having a hard time sticking to a budget. What's your advice on setting up a budget that works each month and leaves room for unplanned expenses?
Very good. So I would say, number one, be realistic with the budget that you set up, because sometimes we're putting something in place that we know we're not going to be able to do at all, and so I'll give an example of when I lost weight. One of the things that I decided last year was that I wasn't going to go on a crash diet. I lost all the weight that I lost by doing portion control, and I knew for me, if I told myself that I could have what I wanted but do it in moderation, it would be easier for me to stick to it than to say that I just couldn't have it at all. And what do you know? I was successful. In the past, when I would just say, I'm not going to eat any bread anymore, I'm not going to have any pasta, and I would do everything drastic, it was just impossible, because I live in Louisiana and food is good, all right? So when it comes to your budget, be realistic, because sometimes you'll put a budget in place that you really know is impossible for you to achieve. And as a result of it, when you don't hit those mile markers that you want, it can be very frustrating. So I would say do that. Make sure you know, what do you have coming in? What do you have going out? Try to see what is it that you can do to reduce the amount of waste that you have in your budget each month, because the average person is wasting money somewhere. So look for that. If you need help with that, come in, talk to us. We're here to help you with that budget. I would say definitely have an accountability partner in place. Somebody who can say, especially when it comes to bigger decisions, bigger financial decisions, make sure that you're talking to someone about that. If you're married, talk with your spouse. That other one is probably a little more level-headed every now and then than you. They can help you not to do impulse spending, so do whatever it is necessary to make sure that you're using your money wisely. But the biggest thing is put that plan in place, have someone to help you with it. We're here to help if you need us, but having a budget in place and sticking to it, because sometimes we put a budget in place, we put everything on paper, but we don't stick to it. Make sure you have that budget in place and make sure you stick to it. And I promise you, if you do that, you're going to have a better financial future.
Awesome. We have one more come in, so we're going to squeeze that in. Leslie Hurley asks, how long does it take to switch direct deposit from one bank to another?
Not very long at all, actually. So it all depends on your employer. Most HR departments have it very easy. A lot of them have it automated. I know we do at this point. But you just need to go and speak with your HR representative and say, hey, I want to switch my deposit over to this institution. We'd be sure to make sure that you have our routing number and your account number so that you can give them the correct information and it goes to the correct account. But it's really, really simple and very easy. You just have to go and talk to HR. They can get it done for you. With that said, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you here on Facebook Live. If you got something good from this and you haven't shared it already, I do encourage you to do so. Always be sure to tune in. It's our hope that we can give you great information, because we want to be your financial resource partner for all of your financially related questions. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to connecting with you next month.